This is Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm.
That's right. Welcome to Inside the Jaguar Nation. He's Morgan Beard. I'm Brian Holland with you here every week. And now we've said it 6 straight times because they're on a 6-game winning streak. The Jags coming home with a win, this time from Houston.
Yeah, and they're doing it on both sides of the ball. This week, no different. The Jaguars, to say the least, focused. And they didn't take Texas Southern lightly, even though they had just one win coming in.
Yeah, they definitely could have.
Perfect trap game, but hey, let's get right to those highlights and see how it all unfolded. The Southern Jaguars in Houston taking on Texas Southern, a battle of the South here. And guys, the Jags running game is back. Running back Herb Edwards busts through the defense for the 71-yard run to get it started. He hits pay dirt. The Jags up 7-0. If you don't believe me, look at that scoreboard. Now the defense did their part too. Defensive end Aaron Tiller, well, he's been harassing quarterbacks all year long. It didn't change in this game. He gets a sack on TSU's freshman quarterback, Elijah Odom. And then the Jags would stop or get a score off that stop, adding a field goal from Cesar Barajas. Jags 13, Tigers 0.
Yeah, second half, Jags laying it on the Tigers right there. Austin Howard finding Denny Craig, who's on the pay dirt diet right there. 20-0, but the Tigers would keep fighting, showing some life. Quarterback Elijah Odom, the flashy run for 11 yards. Tiger fans, yeah, they're just happy they're on the scoreboard. Literally on the scoreboard. The Jaguars ice this one away, though, with Christopher Chaney. Gets to the edge and gets to the end zone right there. Jags win easy, 33-7.
All right, Coach, you pull off another big win. That's 6 in a row. What was it today? What did you guys do differently, or have you guys been doing the same thing week in and week out?
I mean, just it's another week, man. You just got to keep playing and keep trusting the process and just keep working hard. And I think when you do that, you got a chance to be successful.
This game started out with a few penalties on both sides. How did you settle down your team to get them to play Jaguar football?
Well, you know, you got to be disciplined in this game. You got to play smart. You got to play hard. And early on, we was making some foolish penalties, but yeah, you know, we made some effort penalties too, so I can take those. But I think overall, our guys came out and they competed. They know what's at stake, man. We've been in this predicament about every year, so we got ourselves in it again, and we know we had to win a football game, and I thought they came out and did what they needed to do to win it.
All right, the running game seemed to be working again this week. You know, Herb kind of struggled last week, but he got back on track. What was that a testament to this week of him, you know, rushing like he's been rushing for the last couple games?
Well, our offensive line is getting better, you know, and I think, you know, when they open up holes, we got good running backs, and they're finding some pay dirt. So, you know, the good thing is that we protected the football tonight, and they give us a chance. And when you do that, I mean, I think Herb's as good a back as anybody in the conference, you know, so we just got to keep blocking, keep running with vision. If we do that, we got a chance for success.
All right, we got the Bayou Classic 2 weeks away. You guys have an off week next week. What's the mindset going into the Classic?
I mean, we were just in the same predicament a year ago. Ain't nothing changed. We know the mission. We know if we're going to achieve that, we got to play a lot better. Nobody's probably going to give us a chance, but that's okay. We understand what we got to do, and mentally we got to get ready to go do it.
All right, thanks, Coach.
He's already starting with no one's giving us a chance. Are you kidding me? All right. Speaking of the man, we bring in our Jaguars insider, Aaron Lee, with you. And you got to experience my H-Town over there, the 713.
Yes, I did.
You also got to experience the soccer stadium style. It's a little bit different over there. What'd you kind of see? What'd you take away from the experience? I guess is what I'm asking.
A little bit different. The stadium was great, but the field was bad.
Yeah, it's
very bad.
It's not great for a football game.
Not great. But the Jaguars probably played their most complete game of the season, and it was great to see the defense dominate in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about the Jaguars defense. Only 50 passing yards, by the way. How did they do that?
Brian, they only allowed the Tigers to go 1 for 11 on third downs, and they tackled well. That's been a problem all season. Yep. They wrapped up, and they finished their plays throughout the game. Aaron Tiller had another stellar game, and here he is talking about the defense performance.
That's what we take pride in, getting off the field on third down, and you know what I'm saying? I'm glad we got to come out here today and really execute our game plan. That's what we've been trying to do, you know what I'm saying, the whole season, just come out there and execute the game plan. We just keep going up every week. We keep going up, and you know what I'm saying? We've been wanting to be here in this position all season, so now that we're here, we just got to keep getting better every week. You know what I'm saying? One more week to get better, and, you know, we just got to keep getting better.
And Aaron, what complements a good defense is a good running game, and we said it the last few weeks. The Jaguars rushing game back in action. What did you see out there?
I saw them do what they've been doing this whole winning streak. Herb Edwards bounced back from last week, rushing for 166 yards. Devon Bean added some good timely runs, and Christopher Chaney got in and ran it for a touchdown. It was a running back team effort yesterday.
I mean, it's win or go home at this point. You know, we preach that to each other in the locker room. It's win or go home. You know, every game is important because it's the next one. So, you know, we don't look at their record too much. You know, they're not a great team on paper, but they gave great effort all game. And, you know, I just had to slow play it, let my O-line do what they do best. You know, let them guys get in front of me and create holes for me. You know, every run today was credited to my O-line today. They blocked great today. They gave great effort all game. You know, up and down the field they gave effort. So, you know, allowing those guys to get in front of me, being patient, just hitting the hole when I see it.
Boy, we had heard all about those running backs, and of course, when you talk about Southern football, you're talking about the halftime, you're talking about the fifth quarter, you're talking about the human jukebox as they take us to break. And Morgan, plenty coming up here, right?
That's right, our one-on-one with the player of the game. And hey, surprise, it's someone new. And then later in the show, we're bringing you a fan favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Brian, it's showtime for you, the play breakdown. Don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
You're watching Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm, with Brian Holland, Morgan Beard, Ashley Lyotis, and Aaron Lee.
That's right. Welcome back to Inside the Jaguar Nation with you every Sunday night. Brian Holland alongside Morgan Beard. You know what time it is.
Oh, yeah.
Player of the week time.
Performer of the week, player of the week, whatever you want to call it. A lot of players doing a lot of big things. And this week, we have a first-timer. First time he's ever been selected, and he had a great game. It's defensive back Demario Houston, who had a big 74-yard punt return, along with just being everywhere all over the field. And here he is, this week's player of the game.
You know, like, our scheme is to come in and just be physical, and if they don't score, they can't win. So all we have to do is read our keys and tackle good and just play physical. So that's what we did, and they really don't have much to do. So. Well, I wasn't surprised because I knew that they were going to follow him, and that was the plan. So when I caught the ball, I saw green grass, and I took it. I feel if our D-line gets pressure, then it gets the ball out quicker, and we'll be on top so we can make plays on the ball. So if they get after it, we can get after it and make turnovers. All
right, of course, we're bringing you more human jukebox right here. I think that's a performance there in Awkward is what it looks like. And this is my favorite one because they get to do a little dance, and Morgan does a similar dance, but we don't put that on TV.
Right, Brian? Not at all. Not at all.
That's what people tell you. Coming up, we'll have our behind-the-scenes special, a Veterans Day special, coming up here on Inside the Jaguar Nation.
Always good stuff there, and it's always a busy time at Southern. We'll bust out that calendar and give you a rundown of all you need to know right here on Inside the Jaguar Nation.
This is Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm.
We're here with you every week, every Sunday night, right here on Inside the Jaguar Nation. I'm Brian Holland. He's Morgan Beard.
Yes, sir. Now, Brian, let's take a break from football. We talk about it quite a bit here on Inside the Jaguar Nation, but it's time to find out what other sports are going on the Bluff. Ashley Lyotis lets us know.
A busy week over on the Bluff, especially now that basketball season is underway. Let's take a look at some results from the past few days. Men's basketball took on Illinois, but they lost 102 to 55. The women's basketball team beat Mobile 86 to 54, and the volleyball team lost a tough one to Grambling in 5 sets. Coming up this week, men's basketball takes on Marshall on Monday, Missouri State on Wednesday, and then they'll head to play in the Cameron Indoor Stadium on Friday, taking on Duke. The women's basketball team heads to Bloomington to take on Indiana on Tuesday. We'll, of course, have more scores and highlights next week on Inside the Jaguar Nation.
Hey, thanks, Ashley. Now it's that time yet again. Brian Holland entering the film room to dig a little deeper on some key Southern plays from yesterday's victory. Brian, what you got over there?
Yeah, Morgan, didn't take too much work to find some good plays from the Jags. It was first quarter, really. Jags get back out on the scoreboard to start, actually, I should say, taking on Texas Southern. Yeah, they're 1-7, but you have to prep yourself for the next game. We all know here in 2 weeks, it's Grambling State on the schedule. That's the Bayou Classic. That's the game you're getting ready for. By the way, Southern just picked up a first down right before this play, and they ran a zone read, and it was a successful run, I should say. So what do you do next? Well, they're going to run it right at you and right again. This is the attitude I love from offensive coordinator Chinnis Berry. We're going to use this game against a lesser opponent to work on what we know we should dominate on the field, everything that leads up to this Grambling game, and he's still trying to instill this confidence in his offensive line. So let's go ahead and roll it on this play. Once again, it's the zone read. This time, though, you're going to actually pull the center right here and the guard. They're going to lead the way. Actually, the guard doesn't really touch much of anyone. No one touches Herb Edwards, though, and he takes it the distance. Now let's talk about the passing game. Austin Howard, he's one that can thread the needle. Okay, so you have 3 wide receivers up here at the top, and you just do math. 1, 2, 3. You got to cover all 3, or this linebacker has to step in, or you got the safety over the top, or the safety on the backside. No one can get to him, and that is easy for Dennis Craig. That is the easiest touchdown he's going to get all season long. Now let's go to special teams. Actually, this was a specialty for Southern, and boy, they looked good, especially on punts. You have to play a field position game against Grambling, and once again, you're setting yourself up for success when you make plays like this, downing it inside the half-yard line. And then we're going to go, that was Elijah Small with a big play, but right here, more special teams, a trick play. Demario Houston, he fields the punt, no one's around him. Why? Let's bring back the tape. Look up here. They're actually setting it up right there in the red circle. They're making it look like he's going to return the ball on the other side of the field, and that's a lot of green grass in front of him. A trick play, actually, that I think that they got from the St. Louis Rams when they were in St. Louis. I'm going to ask Coach about that one. And then on special teams, look, it looks like a simple punt play, but in the fourth quarter, you don't let a 1-7 team do this to you. You don't let Texas Southern somehow spoil what was a good game. Look, a blowout win, but I can guarantee you, Morgan, that head coach Dawson Odoms pulled everyone in and said, men, that's not how you finish a ball game. That's how those are those lapses you can't have in the coming weeks. And the biggest one, of course, the Bayou Classic in 2 weeks. Morgan?
Hey, thanks, Brian. Good stuff as always, and I'm a broken record. I say it every week. Good stuff here from the Human Jukebox. You know, they always have it going on. But hey, we're going to break, but we have more here on Inside the Jaguar Nation. Coming up, we'll go big picture and take a look at the rest of the conference in this week's standings. The season is getting down to the nitty-gritty. But coming up right away when we turn to Perry White and Garrett Edgerson with their always unique perspective. Inside the Jaguar Nation, we'll be right back.
This is Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm.
Welcome back to Inside the Jaguar Nation. He's Morgan Beard. I'm Brian Hahn with you. More from the field. We just broke down the X's and O's there. What does it take off the field to be a student athlete? Those are the stories we love to tell you.
That's right, Brian. Our very own Perry White, Garrett Edgerson, professionals in that regard, always taking their cameras behind the scenes. And in honor of Veterans Day, they talk about one special Jaguar who served.
Dylan Beard, my man. Dylan Beard, I'll tell you what, I met Dylan Beard, I guess 4 years ago, and he walked on here. And just an unbelievable young man. Just, you know, one thing before I even look at a football player, just a good character young man, a kid that just was always a hard worker, had to come prove himself. And, you know, little do people know, he didn't play tight end in high school. He was a safety and I believe a wide receiver. But, you know, he came in and proved himself, humbled himself, was always a hard worker. And he had those intangibles that I saw in him early on that I thought he would be somebody special.
It feels good, man, to wear that uniform knowing that everybody look at you with more respect, you know, look at you being more disciplined, you know, having more character.
You know, having a guy like that that's already understands discipline, hard work, sacrifice, and a level of commitment when you serve in the National Guard, you know, you have to do those type deals.
Following the process, you know, it's like following your instructions, you know, listening to what's going on and coming from listening to people at higher rank, doing what you got to do and following the process.
But so having a guy to come in and be able to understand that, you know, you have to be on time, you have to sacrifice, you have to work hard at things you want to accomplish, you know, that was definitely a plus to add in our program and with our offense.
Coming from like the people that served before you to have this freedom that we have now, and so continuing that legacy, it really feels good, man. It was an honor to serve, and I'm glad that y'all served in the military, and I'm glad that I served in the military. Much respect.
And it's an honor to bring you that story right there. Great job by Perry White and Garrett Edgerton. Thank you to all who have served, of course, on a Veterans Day weekend. Coming up, we'll scout that opponent. You know who they are, the Grambling State Tigers. We're getting ready for the Bayou Classic just a week early. Just a week early, but
why not?
We are getting you ready. More Inside the Jaguar Nation next.
This is Inside the Jaguar Nation, presented by Russell Law Firm.
Yeah, welcome back to Inside the Jaguar Nation. He's Morgan Beard. I'm Brian Holland. And Morgan, the SWAC Championships right around the corner. It's kind of bittersweet because you're coming to the end. And by the way, just the end of the SWAC Championship game. This is the last year they're going to have it.
Yeah, just a couple more games to go in the regular season. And, you know, Southern is in control of their destiny. But how is the rest of the conference looking? Let's take a big picture approach and check out those standings.
Yeah, the standings, boy, you knew this was going to happen. Collision course. 9-1 Grambling State versus 7-3 Southern. That's going to be a good one. That's going to be one that we're going to talk about for a long time. Hopefully a lot better than last year's game. And then you're going to see this in the East too, but the West just not as strong there at the bottom. Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and Texas Southern bringing up the rear. Now let's look at the SWAC East. If you win against Grambling, you take on 7-3 in the win and loss column. Alcorn State, it'll be in Houston, SWAC championship games. And then, like I said, 3-6, 3-7, 2-8, 2-8. Not as impressive there at the bottom of the division.
Yeah, that's right. Well, plenty more on this game the last 2 weeks. Of course, I'm talking about.
Oh, we're going to be talking about that.
Yeah. Bayou Classic, Southern and Grambling State. Now, let's get to know this opponent, though. Grambling State, they dropped the first game to Tulane, but ever since then, they've just won and won and won again. They are 9-1 on the season and 6-0 in the SWAC. Why? Because they're really good. First in scoring offense in the SWAC.
There.
Yeah, they're first in scoring offense and number 2 in scoring defense. So they're dominant on both sides, and on defense, especially Austin Howard. You might want to watch out. Grambling leads the SWAC in interceptions.
All right, that's a look at Grambling State. We'll have more, of course, on a special Bayou Classic special. For Morgan Beard, Aaron Lee, I'm Brian Holland. Thanks for stopping by Inside the Jaguar Nation.
Louisiana Healthcare Connections is more than Medicaid. Whether you're trying to raise healthy kids or need health coverage for yourself, it helps to have good Louisiana folks on your side. Louisiana Healthcare Connections, connecting you to quality healthcare.